Before we get into the core message of this video, I would love to share with you a quick story. And this is a quick story about this video. I didn't want to make it. I wanted to record about something else, and I found myself re-recording over and over that other topic over 15 times. And at some point, I decided to give up because I knew I was getting in the way of something, which is what we're going to be exploring right now. We're going to be talking about devotion, we're going to be talking about surrender because, in my opinion, they go together. We're going to be talking about the awakening of the devotee archetype, which, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful invitations for all true seekers at this time. If you're new here, my name is Xavier Dagba, and the intent of this space is to spark conversations that ignite self liberation. So, let's talk about devotion. When we dive to the root of devotion, which is one thing that I love to do, because I really believe that an there is huge power in words. So I like to go to the root. I often research the Latin etymology, the Greek etymology, even the French etymology of the word. And when I started looking into devotion, the core meaning has to do with a vow. It has to do with a pledge of allegiance, a wish that engages the soul, if you would like me to put it that way. That's the energy that is wrapped into devotion. So there is a promise in there. So when you look at devotion, it is as if we are devoting, we are promising our life force, promising our will to a certain pursuit of a philosophy, of an ideology. And sometimes even we devote ourselves to people. But devotion really has a higher meaning there. The way I like to see devotion, it is as if we are engaging our soul's core energy in a specific pursuit. Now, over the years, something that I've witnessed is many people are trapped into the shadow expressions of the devotee archetype. We all have that devotee archetype, an aspect of us that truly wants to commit our life force to a certain thing, to a pursuit, to a quest. And that devotee archetype can have a shadow expression. And the shadow expression of the devotee archetype is very often the one that is disregarding soul, higher self, the divinity within, if you wish. And usually the devotee within us in survival can maybe follow or be devoted to a social norm, a perception that gives us a certain status. The devotee archetype in survival can be committed to, belonging to a group way over, way more than really being in alignment with our truth. The devotee inside of us can be devoted to another person. And sometimes that sidetracks us from our inner divinity. And these are the shadow expressions of the devotee archetype. Because these are expressions of the devotee that may not necessarily elevate us. Instead, they may actually distract us from our truest core. The reason why I shared that tiny story about what wanted to come up in this video right now is because the devotee archetype inside of us wants to be recalibrated. It wants to be recalibrated to embrace its highest blueprint. The highest blueprint of the devotee archetype is to serve our inner divinity. And that inner divinity, you may call it God inside, your higher self, your soul, you may call it any way you like. But that is the idea. The devotee archetype wants to be recalibrated, especially during the time that we're navigating at the moment. These are times of massive confusion. These are times of worldwide recalibration, where the future may feel very uncertain at times for many people, times of inner turmoil. And usually, when it's very difficult to predict the future or to rely on someone else's ideology, or to devote ourselves to people that may be deceiving. There's a highest invitation to devote ourselves to our inner divinity. What did that look like for me? I had a plan of what I wanted to share with you, what I wanted to talk about today that had to do with shadow work. By the way, my invitation is if you haven't done it yet, please go ahead and download my free shadow integration mini course. That is something that will open you up to your inner landscape so that you can reclaim your power from the inner forces that hijack you. So back to the point, part of me wanted to have a video about, certain aspect of shadow work. And the energy was not flowing. Despite my focus and determination and dedication, energy was just not flowing. And yet, the word that kept coming up was devotion and devotion. And here am I recording a video about devotion that is absolutely not scripted, but that keeps on flowing and it keeps on flowing. Why is that? Because there's something that happens when you meet your inner guidance, when you meet your inner guidance with the integrity of the devotee archetype. There is surrender. And from that place of surrender, creation becomes much more effortless. Whatever you share gains in potency, it gains in transformational capacity. So the devotee archetype, it becomes that part of you that is actually locked in towards your inner divinity, that is constantly romancing your inner divinity. Constantly. And one of the superpowers of the devotee archetype is your ability to surrender, your ability to move at the speed of surrender. We do not surrender from our ego because our ego is attached to control. With surrender, there is a little bit of letting go, of control. There's a little bit of that. There is a merging between the will of the human and the will of the divine within. So there is a little bit of letting go of control. So we don't surrender from the ego. We don't surrender from the lower self, if you wish. That needs guarantees. The devotee is so infused with trust for your own divine essence that the devotee inside does not need guarantees. The devotee inside is a part of you that can follow your inner guidance without necessarily needing the whole plan to be laid out, which is, in my opinion, one of the highest invitations of today. And that can be applied to everything that is going on in your life. From your relationships to your work, the same way it applied to me today. Through just allowing myself to dive into this conversation about the devotee archetype, which was completely not planned. It can apply to the way you relate to other people. It can apply to the way you navigate your whole life. Does it mean that you let go of your own free will? Absolutely not. But does it mean that you learn to move in this spectrum where there is more and more co creation, real co creation between the human self and the divine self? The devotee is a part of you that is actually devoting self to soul. And from that place, your capacity to create much more gracefully and to navigate times of turmoil becomes a lot more graceful, a lot more graceful. That's really the intent. That's all that I wanted to share with you today. So, I'm inviting you to share with the comments how you're relating to this. And I'm laughing right now because I was like, well, this wasn't, this was absolutely not planned. And I am wondering how it's going to be received. If you are part of the people that called for this message, I'm inviting you to let us know in the comments. And the other thing is, if you haven't yet downloaded the free shadow integration mini course, I'm inviting you to check it out. This is something that can redirect and recalibrate powerfully your own inner journey. Thank you for being here, and please share it with people who might need it. I appreciate you.